Hey, guys.
John Rhys, can you believe that you're looking at your final regular season game, your final home game at UCF? What if, this might be a long answer, but just kind of reflect on these 2 years at UCF and what will it mean to play your final game here?
Yeah, really kind of surreal. I've been in college for a long time now, right? So been at Ole Miss for a little while, and then got in the transfer portal looking for opportunity and found it here at UCF. And man, I'm thankful that I landed here. What an unbelievable spot, unbelievable community, unbelievable team and coaches that I've got to be around. And as it's coming to the last home game that we get to play, it's a little bit surreal. Senior day coming up. It's like yesterday you were the freshman that just walked in the building, starting college, and then now all of a sudden you're the guy with gray hair walking out. And so a little surreal, but nonetheless still a game day, and so I'm thankful for it.
John Rhys, obviously there's going to be a lot of emotion before the game. You're going to come out and be introduced, and your parents will be there. I mean, how do you kind of harness that emotion and keep it in check as you got to go out and play a game? As Gus just said, it's a one and done type situation. You got to figure out a way to get it done.
Yeah, I try not to take any opportunity for granted, right? When it comes to playing a sport that I love to do, playing a game that I love to play, especially with the injury that happened earlier this year, it really kind of put things in perspective for me that I'm really blessed to do what I get to do. And so every time I get to go out there, I really try to cherish the moment, cherish the opportunity that I have. And so this will be another opportunity for me to do just that. Be thankful for the opportunity that's presented, and then nonetheless go get a win for the Knights.
How would you describe kind of the journey to kind of get back to where you were coming from the early season injury? It feels like the last 2 weeks, especially that your lower body has been a lot stronger, that you've been able to kind of look more like yourself before the injury.
Yeah, obviously I've talked about Mary before, but she's unbelievable, and her team has helped me a ton through this. Not back to 100% yet, but getting closer and closer every week. It's hard to run your fastest when you got a piece of metal strapped to you, but nonetheless, she and her team have been amazing through this process, getting me back earlier than scheduled, to helping me through the aches and pains of it all, and I mean, through and through, been unbelievable through this process.
Let's go back to Saturday. About 22 seconds left first half. You're scrambling around to make a play. You throw it away, but about 10 seconds go off the clock. What's the thought process there and going into that last play before the half?
Oh, yeah. I mean, wasn't open, I think. And looking back, 2020, you'd rather have just a throwaway a little bit quicker there to give yourself a little bit more time going into the half. But, I mean, you live and you learn. Obviously, would have loved to learn that a little bit earlier and made a better play in that situation. But it's always easy to nitpick and kind of question the plays when you get to run them back a couple of times and watch them a ton, And so, but yeah, 2020 would definitely like to have a throwaway quicker there to be able to get the guys on the perimeter, either a touchdown or a throwaway. But better quarterback for it. Just wish we could have capitalized on that opportunity for sure.
How do you think you're kind of going to look back on this past season for you? There was so much excitement and optimism. You made so much improvement during the offseason, and then you get hurt. And, even Gus said, you probably came back quicker than you should have. And you see these close losses. And I don't know if you're thinking in your head, man, if I could have been out there, that game outcome would have been different. Like, how do you think you're going to look back on this season for you?
Yeah, I think back, to spring and doing both football, baseball, and having a really fun time in spring ball, and then seeing a lot of improvement through my game in the football side of it, then into the summer, progressing even more into the fall. Continue to develop and turning myself into the player that I want to be. Obviously, have an awesome first game and then ultimately get hurt, but nonetheless in a win, so super excited about that. And then the roller coaster that was to come, right, of every week stacking days of, trying to get back, right? And, it's a lot of the times when guys get injured, it's, hey, he'll be out for 3 weeks. He'll be out for 6 months. He'll be out for, whatever the time may be, and a lot of times people don't think about the time that's put in that 2 weeks, in that 3 weeks, in that 6 months, and there's a lot of, long days that you think about being able to get back, right, being able to take that snap again, and just riding that roller coaster of hey, man, I really want to push this thing and get back for this team and continue to show what kind of quarterback that I am. It's crazy when you get back and all of a sudden you're not where you necessarily want to be. Had a little bit of a scare, then we're back again. And I think I'll look back at this season as a little bit of a roller coaster, no doubt, because of, you always have high expectations looking into it. And then the reality of things is it's not always going to go the way you want it to go, and I think that is everything in life. And I think it teaches me that you got to attack every day with the same mindset of wanting to be better every single day, and know the outcome isn't always going to be perfect, right? Like you're going to have to continue to chip, continue to dig, no matter the circumstances, no matter the outcomes of the week before or the days before or the injuries that were to come, And so life lessons for me in this season of my life, and I'm glad that I've gone through it. God's got a plan for everybody, and I'm glad that I'm on this plan right now.
Mentally, and when did you start to feel fully confident and comfortable with where you are physically, especially considering you did try to hurdle a defender against Texas Tech?
Yeah, a little bit of an early jump there. Thought it was going to go low. Cornerbacks usually go low, but I guess when you're wearing a piece of metal, they don't think you're necessarily going to try to jump. But since I've been back, I've had confidence in my ability being out there, right? Understanding that I'm not all the way at 100% running speed, not all the way where I want to be with my legs, but enough to elude and get away, protect myself, to extend plays. Always had the confidence being out there, knowing that may not be at 100% on my right leg, but nonetheless can still elude and make plays. And again, every week has just been a little bit better than the last, right? And so hopefully this week I'm feeling better than I did last week, just like I felt better than the week before that. And so just continue to progress and hopefully, again, to be as close to 100% as possible.
Just a quick thought, how long do you anticipate it taking to get to 100%? Because if you do win the game, you'll have some time off in between before the bowl game.
Yeah, I don't really know. I've usually I try to be where my feet are, right? And so I usually go in there with the questions of, hey, Mary, what we're doing today, how we're going to get better today. And she's the one that has, the intricate plan of the timeline, and Dr. Jablonski and Dr. Levy obviously have a say in that as well. But my focus is pretty tunnel vision of, hey, how can I get better today? And that's the outcome that the outlook that I choose to have, And so we'll see. We're going to take it one day at a time. But focus is definitely on Houston.
What's the quarterback fraternity like when a guy like Jordan Travis goes down? Is there a reach out there? Did guys reach out to you when you went down? How is that amongst your little elite group there?
Yeah, definitely. I haven't reached out to Jordan yet. Most likely will in the next week. I know that he's had probably his phone blow up here recently after his injury. Man, it's something that you hate to see, especially having the season that he was having. Unbelievable quarterback, unbelievable dude as well. Definitely going to reach out to him. When I went down, guys reached out to me as well. I think there is a little bit something there. I know what Jordan goes through, just like Jordan knows what I go through on a week-to-week basis. And so not a lot of people, I think, can relate to the things that we have to go through. And in that, I think there is created a fraternity a little bit. But definitely going to be reaching out the next couple of days to him. Prayers for him. I know that God's got a plan for him, and I'm super excited to see what his future holds.
John Rhys, along those lines, you look at how just difficult it is to be durable as a starting quarterback. You look here in the state of Florida, you just mentioned Jordan. Graham Mertz at Florida broke his collarbone. You look at the quarterback down at Miami. All the starters and these guys have been banged up. How difficult is it to go a full season? When you talk about the durability issue.
The reality is we play a violent game, right? Like we're getting in car wrecks every Saturday, and that's the reality of the game that we play. But that's part of the reason why I love the game. Maybe I have a screw loose, maybe not. But that's the reality of playing the game that we play. We're going to get banged up just like everybody else on the field, and so it's one of those things that there's a fine line of kind of what I've had to learn this year of when to go get it, when you need to put your body on the line to go get it for your guys, and other times what's the difference in 2 yards right here, and to be able to give yourself up and protect yourself a little bit. So Yeah, I mean, it's back to your question. Yeah, sometimes it's tough to stay healthy when you have a couple of those scenarios a game where it's like, hey, I got to put it on the line to get a first down here. Or I've got to put it on the line to go get in the end zone here in this situation. Yeah, it's a long season we play, and it's a violent game that we play, and so. Staying healthy is always the main goal, and so prayers for everybody that got injured this year. For sure, I know that there's a ton of guys around the nation that have been injured this year, but yeah, that's the reality of it.
You've talked about sort of your personal journey over the last season, but when you think about you and this senior class as a whole and the legacy maybe that you're leaving behind, what are the conversations like, just knowing that you're in a must-win situation to get to a bowl game? You want to leave this year as a stepping stone for the next group coming through after this first season in the Big 12.
Yeah. A little bit of the conversation happened last week. Just telling guys pregame that the reality of, strapping it up the last time in the black and gold possibilities, right? Like, you only get a couple more times to play as a Knight, right? Like, I told him last week, I'm only promised this one and the next one, hopefully one more. And the reality of it, I think, starts to hit for guys that are older. So the senior class being the first to kind of feel that weight of it. And I don't think that it kind of hits younger guys the same way it hits older guys, because I can remember being one of the young guys last year, and then even years before at Ole Miss, and guys are playing on senior night, playing their last football games in college, and there's always emotion that goes with it, and obviously I feel for those guys, but I think it's a little bit different when you're sitting in that seat, and definitely the legacy that we want to leave through this year, the first year in the Big 12, is one with a bowl win. And so we're going to attack this week, attack Houston to get bowl eligible, and then grind to get a bowl win.
You have 1, maybe 2 games left in a football uniform, but what about a baseball uniform here?
Yeah, that again, one of those things that I kind of live day to day, right? I'm pretty tunnel vision when it comes to how I live my life, and so excited for the things to come. Unsure of what that looks like just yet. Excited to swing a baseball bat around or prepare for the things to come in football. I'm unsure yet. I have to talk with my family and see where the future holds there, but excited for the future nonetheless.
With everything that's happened this season, the winning streaks, the losing streaks, your injury first year in the Big 12, being able to get bowl eligible on Saturday, what would that mean, and would that make the season a success in its first year? Yeah, it would be a big deal for us. I think Coach Malzahn said it best. It would be a huge shot in the arm for us. It would be huge for the senior class to go out on that note. For me, myself, selfishly, to go out playing college football with wins would be huge. Been here in college for a while now, and so, but nonetheless, I still cherish every opportunity that's presented. I understand that this isn't promised by any means. I know a lot of guys would give an arm or leg to be in the same seat that I am in, and so I try not to take it for granted. But that would be huge.
You just said you're always going to be where your feet are. So is there a thought of pursuing professional football and preparing for the drought? It seems like that's something that's, not necessarily just baseball. You would consider that as well.
Yeah, that's been my dream since I've been a little kid, to play professional ball. Now, which ball, I couldn't tell you just quite yet. But, man, I love playing ball and competing at a high level, and that's been my dream since I've been a little kid. I always told people that I'm going to be a professional baseball player and a professional football player when I get older, and so looking to make one of those happen, maybe even both at some point, if that would be really, really cool. But yeah, that's been my dream since I've been a little kid, and so hoping to keep pursuing that dream and keep chasing it.
What's been your favorite memory at UCF over these last years? There's still memories to be made, but looking back on what has happened thus far.
Yeah. I mean, you got so many good ones. I think the space games are always so cool to me. I think they're so much fun to look back on, and obviously having success in those games is really fun as well. Haven't got time to kind of sit back and reflect. I'll kind of revisit that question maybe closer to the end of the year, and I'll have a better answer for you.
All right, John Rhys. There was a lot of discord back and forth between Houston and UCF about which is the space school. I think Dana Holgerson a couple weeks ago mentioned that, he felt like, Houston should get that claim. Would you like to see you guys put on the space uniforms one more time to face Houston this weekend?
I'm always a fan of the space uniforms for sure, but I also know that it's a pretty special kind of a once a year type of deal. But I think that decision is kind of out of my hands. But obviously, love the space uniforms this year. They were obviously super cool, and I didn't know that there was I guess a battle of the space U going on. But that's really neat to hear, and hopefully we can be deemed that after this game. Thanks, guys. God bless.